So Steve, it's been said, a very professional performance today. How are you feeling after that win?
Well, we made a decision to change the system. We changed a few personnel, not because of Saturday, but because of the energy levels I thought the lads would bring, and thinking a little bit further forward to Guiseley, and there was various reasons why we thought we'd change it today, and just wanted a front foot sort of all action display, if you like, with some quality. And I thought we started off brilliantly and just kept it going. This time we didn't really take a backward step today. The goals were good, the creativity was good. We hit the post from a cross. We scored a goal which arguably was nowhere near being offside, because Macaulay seems to think he pulled the ball, if not square across the goal, slightly behind him. So yeah, we can consider ourselves unfortunate not to have more, but it was a tough pitch to play on, and sometimes when you get in them areas, it just doesn't sit right for you when you try to play the final pass, and in a couple of occasions it didn't. Very, very important that we start the second half a similar manner, and I just thought second half we managed it really well when we got the second goal. And only slight gripe would be when the game did sort of open up a little bit and we could have stayed on the ball longer. We probably made a few too many bad decisions with the ballers, and we could have saved ourselves a lot of energy just by moving the ball one or two touch and keeping it. But it's a small gripe in an otherwise satisfying day.
Yeah, and the new system, 4 at the back. I guess that gives you 2 options going forward into the next games. It just pushes the lads on high. It pushes. It makes their back 4 have a lot more to think about, a lot more time on the ball, which inevitably once the midfield 3 are locked on as well, sometimes the only option for them is to go forward quickly. And I thought Joe and Newt dealt with that brilliantly today, and going back to a back 4, it was pretty much the same back 4. It was the same back 4 that played here last season, so they knew what they were doing. We've played. It's not easy all the time, because you play 5 every week since the summer, and you're asking them just to go out and change it. But I was confident that 4 experienced defenders would find that something they could take in a stride, and they did. Yeah, and the players you've put in today, how good is it to see players come in and play as well as they did?
Yeah, you're pleased for Paddy, because he's a great player. He's a great lad. He loves the club, and he's just had a little bit of a stop-start season. But his energy and Moke's front foot sort of winning the ball, stepping in, and the way that they kept going all throughout the game, even at the end. You saw Moke be the first one back from defending a corner to make a tackle in that corner. 2 minutes later, he's up on the edge of their box. So yeah, all action display from them 2 and Greeny today. So delighted for Kieran. He can score goals. He's got. I've said this before. There's a lot of aspects to his game that he needs to brush up on, but he can do things that nobody else can. In the first half, especially, the way he sort of just stepped in and put the afterburners on, and people were sort of bouncing off him and falling off him, and he just kept going. And he's going to be a big player for us. I put him in a position today, in fairness, that he played last season for Blythe. He played off Dan Maguire last season, and I just told him to go and cause chaos if he could today. Get on the ball, get on the second balls from their headers, be there first, and he did. He probably could have had a brace.
Yeah, and Steve McNulty not in the squad today. Are we likely to see him in the next 2 games? Well,
yeah. I mean, the reason for that was history proves with Macca that 2 games in 3 days, especially with these pitches, is a big ask. So we decided that Guiseley, the way they play, a little bit more sort of forward thinking team, as in get it forward a lot quicker, a lot of balls in the box, a lot of second balls, a lot of long throws. We thought if we're going to be with them for one of the games and keep them as fit as we could be for one of the games, we chose to do it that way. It worked for us today, but there's a lot of people who made good claims today, but it's also important that we have as much energy on the pitch as we can. If we can shuffle the pack and people are feeling fatigued, or people are feeling a little bit of an injury for today, we've got to think about that as well.